Morning, Peter. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How's sunny Melbourne?
I beg your pardon?
How's sunny Melbourne?
It's not too bad today, but it's been quite cold.
Hello all. G'day, Peter.
Good morning,
How you going?
everybody.
How
Morning,
am I?
Grant. Morning, Scott.
Morning.
So I'm just waiting on a few more people to join, and then we'll start the presentation at exactly 10:30. While I have you guys all on, do you mind if I ask you to put yourselves on mute while I start the presentation?
Yeah, no dramas.
Thank you so much. Perfect. So I'll start the presentation. Thank you all for joining the Procurement Australia Pre-Tender Industry Briefing for Contract 2701-1033, Paint Accessories and Graffiti Removal Services. My name is Mai Chan and I'm your tender manager responsible for this tender. I've set aside an hour for this briefing, including any time for follow-up questions you may have afterwards. If I could kindly ask everyone to mute themselves and hold off asking any questions till the end of the presentation, that will be greatly appreciated. Please do feel free to use the chat to post your Q&A questions throughout the presentation, and I will address them at the end of the presentation. Please also be advised that this presentation is being recorded for documentation purposes, and a copy of this presentation will be made available to you all today. Thank you. I'd like to start off with the acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands, their elders, past, present, and emerging. In doing so, we acknowledge that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have a deep cultural, spiritual, and historical connection to country. So why are we here today? Today, our purpose is to offer you an overview of the upcoming tender and to seek your valuable feedback as industry experts on both the tender itself and its specifications. So what we are looking for from you is your feedback on our current specifications. Your insights are vital in ensuring the relevance and the quality of this tender, and therefore we welcome any suggestions for new components that you believe should be considered and could enhance the tender. Secondly, tender participation. If for any reason you find yourself unable to participate in this tender, we will greatly appreciate your feedback as to why this opportunity did not appeal to you, to understand the reasons behind the decision. Understanding your perspective will aid us in refining our processes and ensuring future opportunities are better aligned with your requirements. Please keep in mind more specific details will be provided on the work required when engaging in your services, and you may need to provide quotes to members under this deed. I'd like to walk you through our agenda as follows: an overview of Procurement Australia and what we do as a business, a detailed look at the contract overview, an explanation of the tender scope, structure and process, a guideline on how to work under this contract, tender hints for successful tendering, and lastly, any questions you may have. So to give you an overview of Procurement Australia, we are a national procurement solutions provider with a membership base of approximately 24,000 entities. This membership consists of organisations from sectors such as public, private, not-for-profit, education, health, aged care, and church religious institutions. We were established by the City of Melbourne in 1985 and was known as the MAPS Group. Our organisation has undergone significant growth over the years and has allowed us to provide services to all governments and industries. In 2017, we acquired Church Resources, a specialist aggregator for the not-for-profit sector, as part of a strategic move to further diversify our offerings and allow us to better serve a broader spectrum of our members. And today, we proudly operate under the name of Procurement Australia. Services which we provide to our members are publicly tendered standing offer contracts, bespoke client contracts, advisory consulting, B2B online trading facilities, and direct supplier standing offers. At Procurement Australia, we are all about maintaining the highest standards of quality for our members. We take pride in our ISO 9001-2015 accreditation, which serves as a testament to our commitment to excellence in all aspects of our operations. The benefits we provide to our members include time and resource saving. By eliminating the need for repetitive RFTs, we save our members both valuable time and resources. Broad product offering. We provide our members with a wide range of options, with access to approximately 25 contracts spanning various offerings from bulk fuels, mobile bins, and tree pruning services. We ensure our members have a wide range of options at their disposal. Flexible contract arrangements. Members have the option to opt in at any time during the contract terms. And lastly, a compliant process conducted by Procurement Australia. Our members can rest assured that our process undergoes a process which is aligned with the public sector tendering requirements. The benefits we provide to our suppliers include reducing the number of RFTs. By partnering with Procurement Australia, suppliers benefit from a streamlined procurement process that minimises the necessity for requests for tenders. This optimises resource allocation and enhances operational efficiency. To access Procurement Australia's members, our suppliers gain access to our extensive member network. This expansive reach provides our suppliers with the opportunity to showcase products and services to our diverse member base that can help grow businesses and expand into new markets. Our dedicated sales team is continuously working to expand our member base to ensure a strong pipeline of potential clients for our suppliers. Additionally, they are actively promoting existing contracts to our members to maintain ongoing interests and visibility for the products and services offered by our suppliers. So in terms of the contract overview, for 2701 1033 paint accessories and graffiti removal services, the contract will commence from the 1st of February 2025 and has a contract period of 2 years, expiring the 31st of January 2027. However, with an additional 2 12-month extension options, the contract can and may be extended up to January 2029. Draft specifications are still under review and a copy is available upon request from myself. Any feedback or suggestions will be highly appreciated. The closing date for comments or suggestions is the 7th of August. I will let you take a moment to take down my contact details if you haven't done so already. Okay. In terms of our tender objectives, we are focused on delivering a compliant process in line with the local government acts and accredited ISO standards. We are aiming to connect Procurement Australia members with highly skilled contractors capable of fulfilling their diverse needs and ensuring our members have access to the best solutions and providers out there. We offer a centrally managed standing offer contract for our members that is supplemented by the flexibility of requests for quote activities to tailor the members' individual requirements. This means we can respond quickly to specific member needs, making the whole process smoother and customizable for all parties involved. Lastly, we conduct a thorough vendor qualification process to ensure they meet our standards before engaging in contract. This proactive step aims to guarantee our members have access to reliable vendors throughout the contract's life cycle. So the tender scope. The scope within this tender is divided into two categories. Category 1, paint and paint accessories. Category 2, graffiti removal services. For Category 1, paint and paint accessories, we are in search for a sole national provider for this category. Suppliers must demonstrate the ability to cater to all members across Australia. Our members rely on a diverse range of paints and associated products for both new projects and ongoing maintenance tasks. The paints we seek should offer a broad spectrum of colours and be applicable to a variety of surfaces. And it's essential for all paints and related products to meet the standards set forth by the Australian Paint Approval Scheme and adheres to the Australian regulations. For the second category, graffiti removal services, we are seeking a panel of providers. Suppliers are invited to tender for one or a combination of all states and territories. Flexibility in availability is crucial for this category, as services are required at various times throughout the week and day to accommodate our members' diverse schedules. Additionally, providers must offer comprehensive inspection and reporting services, accurately detailing the nature, the classification, and the scope of the work to be undertaken. A critical element of this category is the removal of graffiti from specific locations and surfaces. Providers must follow member directives, utilize approved methods, materials, and equipment to ensure effective and lasting results. So evaluation and awards. Displayed on your screens is an example of the evaluation criteria that we might use for this tender. It's important to note that this criteria is subject to potential changes. Suppliers have the option to submit tenders for one or multiple categories. And awards will be based on category states or nationally, depending on the scope and the nature of the tender submissions, except for Category 1, as the awards will be granted on a national basis. So here we have the different types, we have the different parts of the tender structure. So Part A is information for tenderers. Part B is conditions of tendering. Part C is deed of standing offer. Part D, sub-agreement, general conditions of contract. Part E, the specifications. And Part F, returnable schedules, including the pricing schedules. So the returnable schedules may resemble the following, although these are still subject to finalisation. We anticipate approximately 16 schedules. So as your tender manager, my responsibilities include managing the tender event, overseeing all aspects of the process to ensure its smooth execution, calling for tender submissions and closing the tender within the specific timeframe, summarizing and evaluating the received tender submissions against the predefined criteria, and developing a comprehensive contract award recommendation based on the evaluation of the tender submissions. So to outline the contract's responsibility of this tender, please see the following table. Procurement Australia has a responsibility to call and receive tenders, evaluate the tender, contract award decision, execution of the contract, and monitoring contract performance. Suppliers have the responsibility to execute the contract, maintain commercial relationships with participating members, sales reporting and rebate payments. And lastly, participating members have the responsibility to issue purchase orders, receipt and make payments, and maintain commercial relationships with our suppliers. As our industry briefing has taken place today, I hope that this briefing has served as a vital platform for gathering stakeholders and potential suppliers to share information and address any queries related to this tender. On the 28th of August, we will be commencing the advertising phase of this tender as well as the release of the tender documents. The 25th of September is a closing closing date. We anticipate on awarding suppliers for this contract by the 29th of November. And finally, starting on the 1st of February 2015, our agreements with successful contractors will take commencement. To access the tender documents, please note that they are exclusively available through TenderLink only. Obtaining tender documents from any other sources will render your tender ineligibility for consideration. If required, please follow the registration instructions provided in the RFT advertisement on TenderLink. Please also note, while the tender is live, all inquiries regarding this tender will be submitted through the TenderLink online forum. The deadline for forum questions is the 18th of September. And lastly, any addendas will be issued via TenderLink. So in terms of the tender responses, please ensure that tenders submit all returnable schedules completed and duly signed where required, relevant marketing collateral, and any other information deemed necessary by the tenderer. Submissions must be uploaded into the TenderLink portal prior to the closing date and time in the listed formats. And lastly, please note that the submissions lodged by hard copy, email, or any alternative electronic means will not be considered. So in regards to our income model, this follows as a standard approach where a rebate percentage is paid based on sales. The rebate for this contract is envisioned to be 2.2%. However, this will be confirmed in our tender documents. If awarded, we will kindly request you to report to our finance team on a monthly basis. So how to work under this contract. After the contract is awarded, members who wish to utilise a supplier's product or services will need to opt in through Procurement Australia's Procurement Gateway to engage with the successful supplier. In terms of the engagement and invoicing process, Procurement Australia signs a contract with the awarded suppliers. Members who wish to utilise this contract will opt in with the supplier or suppliers. The member will issue a purchase order to the supplier, who then proceeds with the delivery of goods or services. Subsequently, the supplier invoices the member for the provided goods or services. And suppliers are required to report their sales to PA, which then will invoice the suppliers for the rebate amount agreed upon the contract. Tender hints. Firstly, answer each question and address each question thoroughly. Please provide all necessary information within the response itself to ensure clarity and refrain from referring to attachments only. Where appropriate, incorporate charts, graphs, and numerical data to illustrate key points to improve the clarity of your responses. And finally, do not use abbreviations to ensure that all readers can understand your responses. So what's next? Draft specifications are available for review and feedback is welcome until the 7th of August. The RFT documents will be available for download from the 28th of August at www.tenderlink.com/Procurement Australia. If you do not have a Tenderlink account already, you will need to register for one on the Tenderlink website prior to downloading the RFT. Please email me for a copy of the draft specifications. My details are displayed on the screen for those, again, who have missed it previously. So I'll be taking questions now, if anyone has any.
G'day, mate. It's Grant Jack here. Just wondering if you've got any councils that are already committing to either continue on or sign up for this contract.
At this moment, we are just continuing. So we've got a new process where our sales team is not getting opt-ins or pre-commitments from members at the moment, but we do have members that are interested in continuing to use this contract.
Yep. And thank you. The other one was these two services, one's paint supply and accessories and one's graffiti removal, don't seem to have terribly much alignment in terms of you being able to have one supplier do all of those things. I think generally there'll be companies that will do one or the other. Has there been any thought about splitting them, or you committed to holding them as one?
So basically they're split into two categories. Category one is paint and paint accessories. So that's a sole provider.
Yep.
And then for category two is graffiti removal services, which is a panel of suppliers. So if, say for example, you are a supplier that does both paint and graffiti removal service, you're more than welcome to apply for both categories. If you are only applying for paint, you will need to be a national provider.
Yep.
And then if you are graffiti removal services, you can apply for, depending on what you want, you can go for a state basis, a national basis, but they're completely separate categories.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. And I noticed you also had 2 years plus 2 1-year extensions. Most contracts in local government, from my experience, are normally three or 5. Is there a reason for the slightly shorter term to being a 2-year contract?
No, I think we're just continuing with the same specifications as the last retender. So the last tender was 2 years and then 2 additional years.
Cool. No problem. Thank you. Thanks for the
No
briefing
worries.
today.
Thanks, Grant. Any other questions from anyone else? Okay, well, thank you all for joining the pre-tender industry briefing for the paint contract. Looking forward to seeing your submissions. Have a great day, everybody.
That's good.
Thanks, May.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.